Hey guys, Jacqueline here, and I am doing my brainstorming video for Gaming Week, Week 2. The theme for this week was ropes. So now we're just going to brainstorm and come up with a game idea. So the very first thing that comes to mind with ropes is like a tug of war kind of thing. That kind of just like brings me back to my childhood, where that's like the first rope game that you learn. So tug of war, this could be cool. It would be like player versus AI, I think, just for simplicity. And I feel like this would probably be like a skill game, where it's more like tapping, maybe. So you just like tap, 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 and then the faster you tap, the better that you do. Any mess-ups can, yeah, and maybe there could be like zones of like progression. So I guess this could be like maybe a first person view. Even I think a third person would work, like from above, so like top down maybe. I don't know. Another one could be like a climber, I guess. So what I kind of imagine for that one is like you could be like a super secret spy, and you have to get up to a building, to the top of the building to like get in, or like to a window or something. So this would be like an aiming, maybe like a timing game, where the player would like shoot their grappling hook. So they'll like shoot grappling hook to platform, and then they'd pull themselves up, and then maybe it could be like a race or something. So like you could race AI to the top of the building, or maybe there's some bad guys, like obstacles you have to avoid. Enemies. That doesn't say enemies, but whatever. Another one would be like maybe like a swinging game. So like for this one, I'm imagining like Spider-Man kind of, where you're swinging from ropes. So for that, you would do like a tap to attach, or to attach your rope to the nearest spot that it can attach to you, and then like also a tap to jump, which would release your rope and send you forward. That one could also be a race, I think. You could definitely make it that. This one, I think you could have some cool enemies, right? So like your enemies could like cut your rope. That could be cool. Trying to think what else. So for another one, it could be like Jumprope. So like this one, I guess, would be I think this could be a timing game as well, or a rhythm game. I think rhythm's gonna be too hard to build like in just a week though. Or maybe a I'm trying to think. You like know those mini games where you like draw a shape and then like it does something. I think you could like draw shapes, and then you could like jump over the rope, but you have to do it like fast. So like there's just something that you have to do. I don't know. That's not as trying to think else. Maybe like a space game. So like what I'm imagining with this is like a space guy and he has like a tether that can connect him to like objects. Like let's say this is an asteroid. And then basically he would like go through like an obstacle course or something. And his whole thing is not to run into those, the debris. So avoid debris. And then you want to get from, I guess like it would be like point A to point A to point B. So you kind of go through the obstacle course. And then I'm thinking like they could use their momentum, like, because like once you're attached, you would go kind of like in this orbit around. So they could use their momentum to like launch themselves to the next object, stuff like that. So I thought that might be really cool, an interesting mechanic. Okay, so let's flesh these out a little bit more. I guess I'll start with the tug of war game. Let's tug of war. So for this one, I'm thinking probably mobile for sure. Honestly, I think all these would be great mobile games. Okay, so you have your screen. We got like this kind of screen. I know it's so straight. And then perhaps like if we're gonna do like a top down, you could have like a person here and like a person here, and like the middle is like the crossing line. So we could even make this like 2-player where we have like some buttons over here and some buttons over here, and they have to tap back and forth between the buttons like this, and that would pull the rope, right? So tapping pulls. So and that's only if we want to do it 2-player. I think this would be way more fun, and it's kind of like an interesting like game you could just like take out and play with someone else. I think most phones are big enough to do that, and even you could try to play by yourself. But it'd be like a cool, quick, fun, like while we're waiting at the table type game. So, alright, so 2-player, but it'd be like local. So then they'd each get buttons, and then you tap buttons to pull rope. Okay. And then the person that pulls the hardest or whatever would win. So the idea is to get the person over the line. So that could be cool. I feel like, oops, I was talking about earlier, I did talk about player versus AI and using a tapping as a mechanic. So I guess if you could also have like a 1-player version with AI, where the AI just pulls the rope. So this would just be like a particular algorithm, I guess, that handles that, and then the player would just tap here. So like this, so if it's 1 player, we could even, so like this one be here, and they would just be tapping down here. Yeah, so not a super hard game. Okay, so I'm thinking let's do the climber next. So this one I'm pretty excited by. I really like this idea. So for this one, I'm thinking, let me draw a picture. Okay, so this is our wall, and what I'm imagining is that there are platforms on the wall, yeah, and also like obstacles, so like this thing could kill you if you touch it. And basically what you have to do is get up to the top of the wall, like some sort of like wind zone. Yeah. So I'm just kind of drawing right now. Not an actual level will do, but like this could be like a wind platform. Okay, so then the player would start at the bottom. Okay. Okay, so then what I'm kind of thinking is we would have this, maybe this bar kind of over their head of like when to shoot. So I don't know, maybe that's not a great idea. It could be kind of like a two-step thing. Or maybe not. Maybe we could just do like a tap and drag, like drag this way, and that's the way it goes. Like, so if there's like a platform there, it would shoot out as far as, you know, the grappling hook can go, because it can't like reach all the way up. So, and if it's able to reach, it will attach to there, and it will pull the player up to the platform, so maybe they can like climb up, have like a little animation, something like that. I was thinking maybe like doing like this, like the bar, for like shooting the grappling hook, but I mean maybe it's not necessary, so maybe you have to like choose your direction, and then also in order to get like maximum benefit. And I'm definitely thinking maybe drag out. I don't know what I was doing with this bar. I don't know why. I thought maybe, I don't know, we'll come back to that. So basically with the climber is, it's kind of like a, you like shoot, you like, okay, shoot out like your grappling hook. And then you want to get to the top. Yeah. So this one would definitely be something more like that. I'm thinking, I guess, I like the drag to shoot, I guess. I like that, having the direction, because then you can choose where you want to go instead of just like it picking for you. And then it's a little bit more player skill about like their dragging. Maybe we could also do like other things, like if you're on a grappling hook, you could tap to let go in case you need to. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Okay, let's do the swing one. So for this one, I think, like I said before, kind of like Spider-Man-y. So I'm gonna kind of draw like a little stage here. Okay, so basically what I was thinking is you would be, like, here's like a ceiling, and you'd be kind of swinging along, and then you would tap to let go, which your string would go away, and then you would tap to reattach it, and it would just go to the nearest place that it can attach. And then have like these flying enemies. Like if they go through your rope, it will cut it, and then you can only have one rope out at a time. And then you'll have to also like avoid obstacles. Like you could have like little trampolines or something on the ground, and you could use them to jump. So like maybe there was an obstacle that you can't really swing through, but you could jump through, stuff like that. So this is like tap to swing, tap, or I guess tap to extend rope, and then tap to release rope. And then the whole goal is to make it to the end. It could be just like an endless runner. Actually, that might be cool. And then I want to have enemies that can cut your rope. Okay, and then only one rope at a time. Yeah. And then we could have trampolines. To jump, I guess, like that'd be cool. That might make it like really fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back real quick and look at what else we have. We have Jumprope and the space game. Okay, so Jumprope is kind of how it sounds. I'm not crazy excited about this one. I'm trying to think like how you can make it fun. Because I think like the way that I'm thinking about this isn't necessarily just like fun. So basically, here's the screen, and then you would have like a person here, a person here, and then, you know, a person in the middle doing jump rope. And like the goal is to jump over the rope. And then this could be like a get your high score thing, or yeah. So then basically I'm thinking you would do kind of like these little puzzle type things where like real quick quick time events, I guess, where you would do like draw a infinity sign, and then if you do that right or good enough, you jump, or draw an X, or draw an arrow, or like swipe right, swipe left, whatever, and that will get you to jump. It's different every time, I guess. Or even it could just be like a tap to jump, and then you just try to time it, right? So you just want to jump. And we could have it go faster and slower and whatever. So like I think this could be like a cool rhythm game. But I'm a little hesitant to do a rhythm game for this because I don't think I'll be able to get done. So we're just gonna move on because I don't really. Okay, so I really like the space one. I think the idea is really cool, like this one and the swinging one. This one is you play a space guy drifting through space, and you have to avoid like space debris. I'll kind of talk about like what this is going to be. Okay, so you have a spaceman. His helmet's coming off. Okay. And he's just kind of floating around, and all around him are like asteroids and space debris and satellites. Alright. And basically he just wants to not die. And I guess this could be like an obstacle course, or it could just be like a survive. So basically he would be floating, he would extend his tether to get onto one of these, which would allow him to use his momentum to launch himself away from the things, right? And try to not be hit by space junk. So then like this one, he might die, you know? So then the idea is to tap on an object if you're tethered. So if you're not tethered to it, you would tap it and it would tether you to that object, and then while you're tethered you would just kind of go around, or maybe like go till you can't anymore, and then it kind of brings you back, like using like physics. So then you could use your momentum to launch yourself around those things. So I think this sounds really cool, and I think you could have a lot of fun with like the aesthetics of the game. I mean, I don't know how well I would do with the aesthetics of the game, like just kind of drawing it. I imagine this either being like probably like a 2-player game, or not a 2-player game, a 2D game. Man, I am not that ambitious, I promise. So basically, you would just keep going until you die. So like the game ends on death. And you could play again and again and again, and then you could like accumulate like a score. Perhaps there's like collectible things you can pick up, so you can like upgrade your dude. Eventually, these are stretch goals, so that way he has a better chance of surviving the space debris. So I think that could be pretty cool. It could be like an endless game where you're just kind of floating through space, or you can have like a time limit or something. So like a possible timed game. You just survive until you get picked up. We could even have like enemies, and maybe the player can actually manipulate the enemies by tethering to them. That's okay. So like over here, I'm gonna do it, enemies. And I think like you could tether to the enemy, and like when you tether to it, your momentum actually moves it. So when you launch off, it could change the direction of the enemy, and you could like launch them into other enemies. That could be cool. That might be an interesting thing to do. Okay, so I think that's all of the game ideas. The ones that I'm most excited about are, oh man, definitely the space game. I think that one would be really fun to make and just to play. Like this should be a game already, and if it's not, why isn't it? I honestly think I'm just gonna go with the space one. I mean, I'm really excited about all these. Like the climber is one of my favorite. I think this would be a really fun hyper casual game, easy to get out. But I think I'm gonna go with the space game. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll also include my LinkedIn profile link as well as a link to the Discord. Thank you so much again, and I can't wait to see what games you guys make. Bye.